If you want to film videos without being noticed in restricted areas and events, or placing the camera in the most unsuspecting places with unique perspectives, all in 4K, now you can with this camera, the Insta360 GO 3S. It is the smallest 4K camera in the world, weighing just 39 grams, as big as a AA battery, your thumb, or a lipstick. For the last 2 months, I challenged this camera with the most difficult shots, hardest to fit into places, and wore it concealed at 2 private events. By the end of this video, you'll be able to understand if this camera is for you and learn several new ways and perspectives of creative shooting. Hey guys, Orlando here. I've been dealing with cameras for 15 years. I have never seen something this small that shoots in 4K in my entire life. The Insta360 GO 3S is so small and lightweight that you can accidentally forget you're wearing it. This thing is tiny, about the size of a USB key. It's so small that you can easily carry it around, even into a coin pocket in your jeans. A friend of mine spent his entire birthday wearing it, and we saw things we wish we hadn't in the toilet. Not only this tiny camera shoots in 4K, but comes with inbuilt AI and features. It's great for travels, vlogs, and private events where such a small camera won't even be noticed. Here's a cinematic video I shot on this camera in 4K. Take your time to evaluate the quality of this small camera and let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you want to skip it, use the timestamps. Just to save you some time, before I get into the features this camera comes with, here's my 2-minute honest verdict. If you're looking for the top video quality on the market and trying to substitute your Sony AR series or RED cameras, you're looking in the wrong place. It's not a DJI or GoPro competitor either. These products are bulkier, have bigger sensors, and are much heavier. The GO 3S carved out a brand new niche for itself, in which no other camera is competing at the moment. The unique selling point of this camera is that nobody can see it on you. It allows you to capture genuine reactions in people, real smiles and emotions. Nobody's faking or composing themselves because they simply don't notice it. You'll never get that with any other camera. Another unique feature is the large flip-up screen for vlogging. I haven't seen DJI or GoPro do this, and no other camera pops out of its case to allow you to preview the picture and remotely control the camera natively, on the fly. With this iteration, we finally have 4K, a longer battery life, and AI that stitches and shoots for you throughout the day. It's my main camera for POV shots, creative shots, and behind-the-scenes shots. Even if Insta360 asked me to only describe my experience with this camera and how I've implemented it in my video creations, I loved it so much I decided to make a review of it. I'm not going to praise something I don't believe is good, and I'm going to point out things that need improvement. No camera is perfect, and every camera has its purpose. There are many things I like about this camera, so if I've intrigued you, keep watching. My favorite feature is the magnetic design. With the included magnetic pendant, you can mount it to your chest for hands-free POV shots. You're filming the moment, plus you're finally living it yourself. Although it's very small and lightweight, you really need to actively remember about the camera and where you stuck it on if you don't want to lose it. You can place the pendant anywhere. It doesn't have to be on your chest. I use it, for example, on my backpack, on my shoulders, on my shoes, on my hat. You can be very creative with it. The camera comes with an adjustable clip mount. Hook it up to your hat or on your chest and tilt it to your liking depending on what you need to film. If you need to show a perspective of your desk, for example, while you're working, it's easy to do so. Thanks to the magnetic feature only this camera has, you can mount the GO 3S just about anywhere there's some metal. I've used this in my car, the kitchen, in the tram, in the lift, in the bathroom, on the aircraft. Literally anywhere you find metal, you're good to go. So I want to do a video right now and include my family in it, plus the giraffes. And I'm wondering, where can I hook this up? I don't have a clamp with me, but luckily I found something made out of metal. Let's see if I can clip it right there. Yes. Yeah, I can preview the framing, it's perfect. And now I can kind of show off, you know? Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. When it comes to video quality, it's surprisingly good. With 4K resolution, your footage looks crisp, vibrant, and can be integrated into other high-quality 4K content. It has a 1/2.3-inch sensor with a focal aperture of 2.8. The camera can shoot in 4K up to 30 frames per second, 2.7K 50 frames per second, and in Full HD 100 frames per second. And it reaches a max bitrate of 120 megabits per second. That's better than many other cameras on the market that shoot between 50 and 100 megabits per second. To get that high bitrate, you need to shoot in free-frame video mode. While shooting regular 4K video, your bitrate will vary between 70 and 100 megabits per second. You can shoot in flat color profile and color grade to match other footage, or use the color profiles the camera has to offer. Everything you see on this video was shot in the standard color profile in auto settings straight out of the camera. There are ISO ranges you can limit your camera with, so you can let the camera take control automatically without losing too much video quality. And even if this is an available feature once you go manual, you can still set the shutter speed on auto and let the camera do the work without losing quality. The Go 3S comes equipped with built-in flow state stabilization, which is as impressive as Rocksteady on DJI and Hypersmooth on GoPro. Whether you're running, cycling, or just walking, it does a great job of smoothing out your footage. In more extreme situations, make sure to switch to the high or max setting. There are 3 stabilization levels: standard, high, and max. I'm using standard all the time and it works great. It has minimal cropping and the footage is looking very polished. There's a tilt fix feature that adjusts your footage automatically and levels the horizon up to 10 degrees. This straightens videos by cropping and sacrificing some video quality, but you'll never get a crooked video ever again. You can enable grid lines and a very useful level that turns green when fully horizontal, but it disappears while shooting. I hope a firmware update fixes this. The processor has been significantly improved over the Go 3. It's less laggy and can handle 4K footage without overheating. I used this camera during the summer and never had a single overheating accident. In terms of audio, it performs really well in quiet environments, capturing clear and crisp sound. When you're outdoors in windy conditions or noisy environments, the audio can get a bit muffled if you enable wind reduction mode. The algorithm will get rid of a lot of noise directly on board and make your voice stand out. But I prefer the stereo or directional microphone modes as they deliver crispier and way better audio. I'm testing the microphones now and I'm using the direction focus mode, and it uses the microphones that are in the front of the camera. This is ideal for vlogs, for people that are speaking to the camera and, you know, they're looking at themselves on the screen. How do I sound? Do I sound all right? Good audio quality? Tell me guys in the comments. Now I switched to stereo, so the audio picked up comes from the front, from the sides, from the back. How does it sound? Tell me if the quality has improved. What are your thoughts? Stereo, check, 1, 2, 3. Stereo mode, check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Direction focus, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. Wind reduction mode activated. Right now, it's actively removing the gust of winds that are coming in the microphones of the camera. And tell me if the sound is decent and if it's actually working well. This is without wind noise reduction on. How does it sound? Does the wind reduction algorithm on camera work well? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I recommend using an external microphone in case you want to fight the wind and still keep great audio quality, or attaching wind muffs over the microphone holes, for example the Rykodi wind muffs. If you're enjoying the video, a like and subscribe would mean a lot. It helps us grow and create even more content for you. The standalone Go 3S gives you around 40 minutes of continuous recording. The Action Pod extends the battery life significantly, allowing for around 140 minutes of recording with intermittent charging. Battery longevity varies depending on the resolution, frames per second, check in bitrate, screen brightness, and if the action pod is put to sleep while filming. The action pod is a very practical solution to charge the camera fast and on the fly, but if you're planning on an all-day shoot, you'll need to plan your charging breaks and carry a power bank. The great thing is that you can recharge your action pod and still record with a Go 3S disconnected. You practically have an unlimited charge if you have a power bank with you. I was shooting for a full morning and a half afternoon, and only then I ran out of battery. Battery life is really good. It could have lasted longer had I not accidentally pressed the record button in my pocket shooting 2 long blank videos. So be careful where you place the action pod. If you hit the record button, it will behave like a DJI or GoPro camera and start recording until you stop it. This can really drain your battery and ruin your day. I solved this problem by configuring the quick capture feature to work with 2 presses of the button instead of 1. It's harder to accidentally record videos by mistake this way. The action pod is another unique selling point of this camera that no other action camera or DSLR has. It behaves as a remote control once separated from the camera. This means that you can change settings, preview your shot, or start recording without ever touching the camera. It's perfect for those shots where you want to make sure that you're correctly framed. To record my daughter from this backpack perspective, it took me so many shots and attempts with a GoPro clipped to my hat. So much trial and error. Then I used the Go 3S, I checked the framing with the action pod, and it only took me 1 shot to get it right. What a difference. Once the camera is physically disconnected from the action pod, they'll still be connected via Wi-Fi. The preview on the action pod, if far from the camera, it might give you some lags and be a little bit glitchy. This is perfectly normal. Just make sure that the action pod isn't too far so you stay connected. On some tests, the connection was perfect up to 5 meters, but on other tests, I managed over 20 meters before I started seeing some glitches and lag on the preview screen. Recording. It's still okay. I think it's like 4 meters now. Signal's not breaking up. Still a good signal. That's really impressive. This must be like 8 meters, maybe a bit more. It's really incredible. Oh my God. There must be a bug or something. Okay, let's go right in front of the camera to see if it was stuck or something. Yeah, it wasn't stuck. It's working as it should. Unbelievable. Wow, what range. I guess the range on this thing is like over 20 meters, 25, or I don't know. It's just that these are ideal conditions. We're not gonna get this all the time. I'm really impressed. This camera helped me a great deal shooting videos in crowded areas without having people notice it. But where it really helped me, a really great deal, was shooting videos of my daughter. The moment I flip out my phone, my daughter changes personality. She stops doing what she's doing. I lose the moment and her authenticity. But this camera, she doesn't notice it. I can play with her, pick her up, and toss her around. She'll smile, laugh, and be herself. That's where this camera really shined for me, and I'm so happy there's something like this on the market. The Insta360 GO 3S supports Apple's Find My feature, so if you lose it accidentally or someone steals it, you can get it right back. Pity there's nothing for Android users. I hope there's an update for us poor scumbags. The camera's build quality is very premium. We're talking about DJI or GoPro grade. Plastics are strong, very sturdy. The interface is solid. Every swipe and tap works. There's no delay. Overall, a really strong sense of quality. The camera's magnetic force is powerful. It docks strongly to the action pod or any other metallic surface. You can choose between black or white for this camera, but both have a very different feel. The black version is more grippy than the white one, although the white one looks more polished. I prefer black since it blends well with the dark clothes that I wear. Finally, let's touch on low light performance. As you'd expect, from a camera this small, low light conditions aren't its strong suit. The smaller sensor leads to noise and a loss of detail when shooting in poorly lit environments. So if you're planning to shoot a lot of action videos in night scenes, this camera isn't the tool that you're supposed to be using. However, if you keep the camera stable enough and slow the shutter speed, you can obtain some great looking video. I checked some reviews before receiving this camera, and I came across this YouTuber who was very upset about the Go 3S. This camera is really small, and I'm not sure if consumers realize how difficult it is to achieve something that works so well and is small at the same time. The camera sometimes struggles with high dynamic range. In this example, the sky in the distance is blown out, and so are the orangey warm rays seeping through the trees. However, if you manually set a custom shutter speed and ISO, you can still retain good dynamic range even in harsh conditions. applications. The Go 3S has many additional shooting modes, from hyperlapses and time lapses to video free frame, pre-recording mode, loop recording, and more. Video free frame is useful for reframing videos into several aspect ratios in post, so you only need to shoot once and use that same video either vertically or horizontally for the multiple social platforms that are available: Instagram, YouTube, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, etc. If you shoot in this mode, you'll have to reframe, stabilize, and change aspect ratios in post. Video free frame mode uses more of the sensor's real estate and gives you a 4:3 aspect ratio. Because of it not being 1:1, to retain the highest amount of detail and quality, you should still need to orient the camera horizontally or vertically. The camera will orient itself automatically depending on how you place it. If you have it horizontal, it'll shoot 16:9. If you place it vertically, it'll automatically shoot 9:16. No need to set things in camera menus. It's all automatically and obviously done in a very convenient way. Insta360 cameras have a unique feature that allows you to time record a time lapse or anything you want, a video too, at a specific set time. You no longer have to wake up at 5 a.m. to take a time lapse of a sunrise. The camera will do it for you while you sleep. It's really helpful, and I'm very happy that that feature is included. Hyperlapse, Insta360 calls it time shift, looks really great when enabling the ND filter preset for added motion blur. You get the same effect of an ND filter, but without buying one. So here's my conclusion. The Insta360 GO 3S is the only camera in the world able to be concealed anywhere you want, to be magnetically hooked anywhere there's metal, to shoot automatically independently throughout the day, creating extra free footage for you, to let you natively preview the camera remotely with the Action Pod instead of using an annoying app on your phone, to have a flipping screen, to be waterproof up to 10 meters, weighing only 39 grams and shooting 4K. The drawbacks that I found are that the low light performance can be pretty good with some tweaks, but action shots in low light won't work. You need a bigger sensor. The dynamic range can be good, but you need to go manual for the best results. It would have been amazing to have 4K at 60 frames per second. I wish they had a bigger memory size for longer holidays or projects, since there isn't an expandable SD memory slot. A feature upgrade I'd like to see on the next iteration would be the ability to use the Action Pod as a wireless microphone to the camera when detached, turning it into something like a DJI Wireless 2 microphone. That would help many content creators save money. When you buy a small camera, there's always somewhere you compromise. It's usually in the video or audio or battery department. You're open to forgive the shortfalls just because the camera is extremely small. But in this case, the Insta360 GO 3S performs extraordinarily well in every department. The R&D team at Insta360 provided some very clever solutions for their cameras. Solutions we videographers didn't even know we wanted, and that now expect and need on all other devices. They just redefined ease of use standards and will probably force competitors to adapt. This camera should get an award for being the easiest and most versatile camera on the market. So good job, Insta360. I recommend this camera for vloggers, YouTubers, performers, wedding photographers, and videographers, travelers, and people who don't want to be seen while filming. If you're interested in checking out the Insta360 GO 3S for yourself and the gear I used in this video, make sure you get this camera on offer during Black Friday. Links to these discounts are in the video's description below, and I recommend the 128GB version instead of the 64 one, since it's easy to run out of storage when shooting in 4K, and the price difference is only $30 US. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.